Yo, what's up, strategists? Welcome to the Bitcoin Strategy. Today, I want to talk about the ongoing attacks targeted towards Bitcoin Core, why it's a pressing issue,
Everything is a pressing issue.
what I think about it, and what you can do to save the Bitcoin network from disaster. Let's get into it. Now, what's going on with Bitcoin Core? On April 27th, Peter Todd, who is not Satoshi, published this PR on Bitcoin Core's Git or source code page. This one right here. It requests to change the um, data limit on op return. For those who don't know, you can think of a pull request or a PR or pull request as a request to make a change to a project's source code like Bitcoin's. If you found a vulnerability or wanted to implement a feature in the Bitcoin protocol, you'd submit a pull request. Now, what's the problem with this pull request in particular? A lot of things. It removes the 83 byte limit on op return outputs, which allows for further spam on the Bitcoin blockchain. Op return or data carrier is an output in Bitcoin that allows you to embed a small amount of data in a transaction. It can be helpful for services that need to keep a small amount of data on chain, like a timestamp or a hash, in order for their service to work, like Samurai's Whirlpool. It restricts the user's freedom by removing the data carrier size flag. So, say you're a miner on that mines Bitcoin, and you do not want big op return. You don't want a lot of data in the op return when you're mining your Bitcoin block. What you can do with this data carrier size flag is, say you want 40 byte op returns, you can set it to limit it to 40 bytes, or you can just uncap this in general. You could set it to whatever you want. And number three, the Bitcoin core devs are actively blocking any sort of discussion. As we can see down here, they have locked the conversation. One time they unlocked it so one guy can upvote um, the pull request, and then they locked it like a minute later. And number four, it's a bit against the Bitcoin ethos. Bitcoin wasn't made for storing Pepe JPEGs and funny cat PNGs. It was made to fix the world's money. As we can see in this comment on the pull request, this is a great comment. Now, merging this PR means Bitcoin is no longer decentralized currency. Merging this PR means Bitcoin is no longer money. Merging this PR means Bitcoin is no longer a store of value. Merging this PR Merging this PR means Bitcoin is no longer what users, node runners, etc. signed up for and adopted, and merging this PR means Bitcoin is no longer Bitcoin. That pretty much summarizes what this pull request is if it is accepted by the Bitcoin core devs and it's implemented into the chain. Now, as we can see down here, this pull request, even if it goes through, it won't be effective at what the core devs are trying to tackle, which is spam. As you can see here, if this is a hypothetical if this pull request get merged. So number one, the pull request gets merged. Number two, centralized mining pools continue to adopt the Bitcoin core changes like this because they want to keep an updated Bitcoin core node. After some relatively short period of time, there's an incredibly small number of transactions utilizing this unlimited cap from this pull request. Headlines: see, it wasn't so bad. No abusive op returns because no one wants to use op return. Why? Because it will cost people 4 times more than if they were to embed their data somewhere else in the Bitcoin transaction. So even if this pull request goes through and uncaps op return, it won't be useful to the spammers who choose to continue to spam the chain. So this pull request is completely useless. Now, my opinion on this pull request: one thing blockchain devs should know very well but fail to comprehend is the phrase "do one thing and do it well." That's in the Unix philosophy. The Unix philosophy is like the Bible of computer programming, which is a set of guidelines and rules that most programmers should follow. Not saying that you should follow the Bible, but that's just to compare easily. Now, if you ever wondered what happens when you mix a decentralized peer-to-peer monetary blockchain with data storage, this is what happens. If we go to Clark Moody Bitcoin dashboard, let me find it really quick. Should be chain size. Right here, Bitcoin's blockchain is only 747 gigabytes. If we look at Ethereum, all the way over here, 22 terabytes. So Ethereum's blockchain is like 25 times what Bitcoin is. Ethereum's blockchain needs to be to run Ethereum's node and download the chain. You need to set up ZFS, which is a bunch of technical stuff. You need SATA drives over HDD drives, which is more expensive. And if you were to run a Solana node, which is completely out of the picture for your ordinary person, that will be, let me find it right here, 400 terabytes plus 300 terabytes of data. So that's 700 terabytes in total, plus 512 gigs of RAM. And it says Solana at its current rate is adding 80 to 95 terabytes. 80 to 95 terabytes of storage to their blockchain every year. That's a lot of data. If the network ramps up to its full design capacity, so in other words, if someone spams and blasts Solana's blockchain to full capacity, which Solana fees are pretty cheap, so I'm pretty sure it's not that hard or economically bad to do so, they can grow Solana's blockchain at petabytes every single year. Now, to comprehend how much storage that is, if you wanted to store the Bitcoin blockchain, you could just buy one of these. It's not the most efficient way to do it, but you can do it on here. Just a 2 terabyte Seagate Barracuda hard drive. It's only $65. Or you could buy this one right here, $70. These both are great storage devices to store the Bitcoin blockchain. If we look at Ethereum now, Ethereum's blockchain size is 20 terabytes, so we'll need to calculator. What other calculator? So since Ethereum's blockchain is 20 terabytes, this is a 4 terabyte SSD. What we'll do is say, so 20 divided by 4, that's 5 of these. We'll add an extra SSD, that's 6. So 6 times the price of this item. That is $1,500 just for storing the Ethereum blockchain. So $1,500. If we look at Solana's, which is 700 terabytes, that will be 700 divided by 8. So that's 87.5 of these drives. We need a bit of extra headroom for storage. So let's say we need 90 of these drives times the price of the item. That is about $100,000 in storages plus extra things you need to, and extra hardware you need to run the node. So $2,000 CPU and a terabyte of RAM, and that's just the system requirements to run the Solana blockchain. Now, if you should require decentralized storage, what you should do is not store that data on a blockchain and store it in something like BitTorrent or IPFS. Now, I've never used IPFS before. I know it's linked a bit to the Ethereum side of things, but I can rep for BitTorrent. I've used it many times. It's a great way to share files censorship resistantly. I've used it many times. I've downloaded terabytes of content over BitTorrent. It's a really good tool. You should check it out. Now, how can you fight against these Bitcoin Core changes? Ways you can fight against it are running older versions of Bitcoin Core. If you don't update your node, those changes won't apply to your node. You can run another version of Bitcoin Core like Bitcoin Knots that doesn't have these features in it or won't have these features in it. You can use Bitcoin Knots on Umbrel, Start9, Raspberry Blitz. If you're a Bitcoin miner, you should consider pointing your hash rate to a pool like Ocean that respects the Bitcoin blockchain and doesn't allow spam. The pool that Ocean recommends only includes monetary transactions and small amounts of data, as we can see here. Or if you just want to use a good mining pool that doesn't filter out any spam, you can even choose Core, which they have it here. So they have 4 templates. You can read what they block here. It's a pretty good mining pool. You should check it out. Now, in short, One of Bitcoin's main selling points is decentralization, simplicity, and it's based to create a permissionless monetary system that everyone can use. The moment we start stripping away these characteristics from the protocol, the more Bitcoin becomes like its crippled enemies, like Ethereum. As we can see by this picture, that blue line represents Ethereum's merge, which is a switch from proof of work to proof of stake. Ever since they did that, their protocol has been dying. The main takeaway: Bitcoin is not used for data storage, so do not use it for that. I'll, I will be releasing more videos in the future on the technical side of Bitcoin, including chain bloat and spam, so be sure to be on the lookout for those. Now, if you enjoyed this content, feel free to like, comment, or even subscribe. It's very much appreciated. As always, stay orange pilling, stack sats, and have a great rest of your day.